king, I am not a god, I am Hump.
What's good YouTube, and welcome Tano. In today's video, I will show you how to build the Garuda Prime for level 0 to 9999 Steel Path enemies in Warframe, or known as level cap. But first thing first, let me show you what this Warframe is capable of. Let's go. Yeah, boy. Welcome back Tano, I hope you enjoyed the speedrun. As always, before I build a weapon or warframe, I rely on my method called DVS. D stands for how I will be dealing damage, V how I will be priming enemies with 10 stacks of viral to make them vulnerable by 325% more damage to their HP, S stands for stripping enemies armor, so I will lower their damage reduction to deal more damage. The next thing you need to learn so this build that makes sense to you is shield gating. What is shield gating? Shield gating is a defense system implemented by DE for warframes with shields. Simple as that, to keep them alive. Now, you like to use it or not, that's totally up to you, and that can decide you staying alive or not. So, here you go. Shield gating. To understand shield gating, you understand shield gate. The gate is the moment you lose your shield, the screen will shake, you enter an invulnerability phase, meaning you become a god mode, nothing will kill you, alright? That invulnerability phase has a period. 0.33 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, 2.5 seconds. Now it's capped at 1150 shields to 2.5 seconds, except Hildrin for 3.5 seconds. So the idea is, when you lose your shield and you enter the gate, that period you need to return back your shield, so enemies keep hit you, and you keep jumping between shield and gate, for one goal, that enemies doesn't reach your health. Simple as that. And as always, we take beginners friendly approach, explaining Garuda Prime kit for Talons that trying to learn about her. Maybe they get a tip or trick here and there. Passive. Garuda damage temporary increase with each enemy she kills to maximum of 100%. It decays when you don't kill or assist in anything. Slashes with her talons if no melee weapon is equipped. Means you will summon her exalted weapon when you remove the melee weapons from your arsenal. Dread Mirror. Rip the life force from an enemy and use it as a shield that captures damage. This kills significantly weakened enemies instantly. Charge to channel the captured damage into an explosive projectile. This is really powerful ability, and it's help her to defend herself from any incoming projectile in front of her. It got an augment called Dread Ward. Now, become unkillable for 8 seconds when Dread Mirror kills a target by ripping its life force. It's really awesome. Second ability, Blood Altar. Impale an enemy on altar of Talons and siphon health for Garuda and her allies. Really simple ability to understand, really. Now it doesn't have an augment. Bloodletting. Garuda sacrifices her health to generate energy and clears the statue effect. Now this ability is really awesome as you can have always energy no matter what. I think one of the best abilities in her kit. But you need to figure how you're going to return that HP. I highly recommend using Magus Elevate on your operator, as I think it's the best in slot for this. The augment, Bloodforge. Garuda equipped weapons is reloaded up to 100%. Now Philarchs would love this, the Tonker will love this, and so on and so on and so on if you plan on using a gun on her. Garuda fourth ability and her ultimate, Seeking Talon. Charge to expand the targeting area released to send Garuda Talons carrying towards each target in area. Surviving enemies are prone to slash statue. What makes this ability awesome, it's actually affected by your modded statue damage. The damage from slash is affected by the modded statue damage on your weapons. That makes it really powerful as well. And also, you got an augment called the Bleeding Talons. Tap to perform a 9-meter AoE around Garuda. Garuda's Talons gain 100% additional combo count chance when hitting target affected by slash statue. I think this is really awesome when you plan on going for light attacks, which not our case for today's video, because we're going for heavy attacks thanks to the new Galvanized mod set. And also, this Seeking Talons makes you invulnerable when you cast it. Also, it CC in a way those enemies that's around you. Very awesome ability. And now let's talk about Helminth abilities. Blood Alter is the one you want to replace hands down. Now, the regenerating of HP, as I said, Magazine from your operator will work just fine. Even Wikipedia said the best replacement for Blood Alter is Gloom, and I did, and it worked really good with Garuda. Now, other Helminth ability you can go for here, for example, you can go for Resonator to distract enemies. You can go for Terrify to terrify enemies. And Armor Strip them, of course. You can go for Nourish for viral and more energy and health. You can go for Tempest Barrage for proccing viral and corrosive, and you can Armor Strip if you're using 2 Emerald Archon shards. You can go for Ensnare to lock in enemies. You can go, for example, for Pillage if you plan on taking her as for the shield gate or shield regenerating tank. You can go for Eclipse if you want to increase your weapon damage. You can go for Roar if you want to get that multiplicative damage like faction mod works, and also increase your ability damage. And you can go for Zata Whisper if you're planning on going, for example, let's say to Disruption, for example, works really like a charm. Then you can keep going. Thorough Strike, you can use as well the Ruffle Advance from Colervo, so feel free. Even Quiver, so you can make her invisible, but then you will need to keep casting Quiver here and there, but thanks to the Bloodletting you can do that, or you can cast Quiver in your companion and you keep moving around, and yeah. And starting for the build with the Archon Shards, I'll be running 2 Tau Forged Crimson Archon Shards for ABD duration to balance things out, and it's gonna make sense for you in a second. 2 Emerald Archon Shards so I can armor strip enemies with my weapons. For example, I have Corrosive in here, I have Corrosive in here, and I'll be really fine. Or if I want to run Tempest Barrage, for example, I'll be armor stripping enemies as well, and so on. Now, we got the Tau Forged Ember Archon Shard for 37.5 casting speed, which I think it's nice and important to have for her casting. Now, every time you reach the part where you shield gate, the Seeking Talons is your friend, as it costs 100 energy, and it will make you invulnerable. It's one of the best. It's the best survivability ability for her when it comes to taking damage and losing your shield to return them, and you keep shield gating with Seeking Talon. When you lose energy, you cast Bloodletting and you go back again Seeking Talon. But remember, Bloodletting doesn't consume any energy, it will consume your health. So you need to choose wisely at that moment how tough the fight is. And as always, if you don't like my method on proccing viral and proccing corrosive to armor strip enemies, you can check this sheet right here. It can help you move around that. And now for Garuda build, Brief Respite. When you cast an ability, the energy you spent will be converted to shields. Thanks to the Coaction Drift as well, the squad benefits 15% and you benefit additional 15% from the aura. So higher shield regenerating, and that's how you're going to be shield gating every time the enemies reach your gate. Now, Talents Fortitude, Strength and Duration, minus duration. Emerald Testify for Strength, Ogre Secrets for Strength, and also energy to shields. And Primed Continuity for Duration, Rolling Guards for bad situations and cleansing yourself. Stretch, Ogre Reach for range, and Ogre Reach for energy as well. So the combination of Reach, Secrets, Coaction, and Brief Respite, these are really crazy returning your shields. And now you got in here Primed Continuity for Duration and Primed Flow for energy max. Energy, Arcane Energize for energy, Molt Augmented for strength, so our Gloom reaches the 95% slow, which is really awesome. Now we need the duration, of course, and we need the range, both for our Gloom, and pretty much you are ready. The strength is high, and I want to tell you something. This build, the way it is, you can run any Helminth ability in Warframe, any of them. Wrathful Advance, Ensnare, Eclipse, Roar, you name it. Because when I build a Warframe, I make sure that you can apply any Helminth ability you want. You don't have just to follow me blindly with Gloom, okay? But Gloom, I like it because the life steal, it slows enemies, and synergizes really good with her because I saw it in Wiki and I tried it and it works fine for me. Now, we need to talk about her Talons. Now, to equip the Talons, some Talons ask me, Hank, I cannot see the Talons. You need to remove your melee weapon, friend. Simple. Take off your melee weapon and you'll be able to see her talons. Vermilion Storm for kick moving between spinning slashes. Galvanized Reflex for heavy attack efficiency and also will give you 5 combo multiplier. Primed Smite Grenier multiplicative damage against the faction. Depends on the faction you're fighting. You want to switch this one to Grenier, Corpus, Corrupted Hurricane, and so on. Sacrificial Steer for 275% critical chance and 2 times for heavy attacks with the Sacrificial Steer, of course. That means you'll be dealing 5.5 critical chance. That means 550% critical chance. Primed Fever Strike for Toxin, Killing Blow for 120% melee damage on heavy attacks and 60% heavy attack wind up speed. Sacrificial Pressure, melee Elementalist, 90% statue damage, which is multiplicative, and you got another multiplicative in here, and you got 60% heavy attack wind up speed. Now, the multiplicative damage is from Slash, Heat, Electricity, Toxin, Blast, and Gas. We got Slash already, and we got the Toxin Primed Fever Strike. Amalgam Organ Shatter for 85% critical damage and 60% heavy attack wind up speed. Now the question will be like so, Hank, why you're not running the Galvanized Steel instead of Sacrificial Steel? For that we need some math. Now, when we run Sacrificial Steel by itself without Sacrificial Pressure, and then yeah, maybe it's a Galvanized Steel we can shine in there, but when we run Sacrificial Pressure and Sacrificial Steel together, you will receive a total of 227% critical chance on heavy attacks. That means you will receive a Tier 1, 100%, 3.7 critical damage, Tier 2, 100%, 6.4 critical damage, and you will receive a 27% for Tier 3 for 9.1 critical damage. When you run Galvanized Steel, of course with the Primed Pressure Point, okay, you will have a total of 112 critical chance. If I just like throw it in here, you'll see like we have 73%, okay? With a heavy attack of 220%, you will receive 112%. That's 100% Tier 1 6.1, because Galvanized Steel comes with 120% extra critical damage. And Tier 2, you have only 12%, which almost, you're not gonna do it, 11.2 critical damage. So, I believe Sacrificial Steel and Sacrificial Pressure is more stable, unless you're using something that boosts your critical chance. Arcane Avenger, Darza, Wrathful Advance, and then yes, Galvanized Steel and Prime Pressure Point will be superior. For this build, the way it is, guild level cap, it's fine, you're happy, this is how you do it. Now back to the DVS, you already know that we're gonna be dealing damage with our Garuda and our weapons. We'll be proccing viral now from our Nautilus Prime. Nautilus Prime will be Cordon to pull enemies, Duplex for the clones, Assault to attack, Vacuum to pull the loot, Manifold for more Cordon, Calculated Direction, Shield, Armor, Health, Reinforced Bond for critical, for fire rate, sorry, Tenacious Bond for critical damage, if you reach more than 50% critical chance. If you have a Riven for Verglass, go ahead. If you don't, it's okay, still powerful. If you insist on the 50%, you can go for Volclock weapon until you get a Verglass Riven. And this is the build, Heat and Viral. So this is my source of Viral, and of course you can use Sedo with Viral, and then you armor strip with your Corrosive. You can use Unairo to armor strip, but you know, Cascade, it's good to have Madurai, so we can like boom, one shot those Thraxes. Simple as that. First thing first, the first ability and why we don't remove it for a Helminth ability. Now, it's a mirror comes in front of you, now enemies will start hitting you, and you see the damage that's right there? I will show you how this ability can be powerful, and we can one-shot those level 225 heavy corrupted gunners, like really one-shot, and even you can one-shot level cap. I did one-shot level cap with this ability, but the more damage the enemies deals, the more this ability will deal, and I will show you. Now, when you tap, you create this mirror, right, and you're going to be collecting that damage. But then, what you're going to do, when you reach enough damage, okay, let's go, okay, when you reach enough damage, you're going to hold the ability, alright, and now you'll be regenerating. Look at that, look at that, look at that, 7 million, boom, 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 and then you release, shkaboom, and they're pretty much dead. And you can keep collecting and collecting and collecting and collecting. And every time you feel the ability is like running off duration, you can just recast it and you are actually invulnerable. And it also can contribute towards the fast shield gating, because it makes you invulnerable and return some of your shields based on the usage of energy. And now, for example, we have 10 million collected. We're just gonna hold the ability, and based on how much energy we have, we're going to multiply that. We reached 100 million, 120, 130, 140, and released. enemies not coming back from that any soon. And for example, when we collect 32 million and then we just like hold the ability, check this out. How much we can collect? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Boom. 2,147,000,000, and that's damage cap. And now for our Helminth ability, Gloom. You just cast it like so, and it's gonna be start expanding, 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 and then we'll start slowing these guys right about here. Okay? And then, of course, they're gonna be hitting you here and there, but you're gonna be shield gating anyway. Alright? But when you get more mold augmented, they will be even slower than what you see them right now. And if you take Sedo, for example, with like me, corrosive and cold, you can even slow them even further in the part where you actually can strip them and freeze them at the same time. Look at that. We don't joke at all. And then you're gonna be just like multiplying your stuff, and you're just gonna be like taking them down. Boom. Easy as that. That was 25 million. We don't joke around. And now when it comes to the third ability, it's really simple. For example, you use whatever ability that you want, fourth ability, or so on and so on and so on. And then all you have to do is use the third ability and you will gain back your energy. Simple as that. But you will consume your HP, like so. Look at that. Consuming my HP. Check this out. That's 2 left. That's the maximum that ability can go for. And then when you use Magus Elevate, you can get back your HP. Look at that. Consumed all. Boom. Magus Elevate. It's back. And that's why I think Magus Elevate is best in slot in here when it comes to operator synergizing with Garuda. The fourth ability, and what I like about it the most, is the energy cost for the shield gating. And when you cast it, you actually become invulnerable, as you can see right there, which makes it a very nice survivability and shield gating mechanism. Also, it has like some sort of nice CC. You can either tap as well, or you can hold the ability. Up to you, depends on the level of the content that you are playing. And if you use the Augment, it's going to create a very nice Talon fast attacking combo ability. And now when you run no melee weapons, and I highly recommend that you don't run any melee weapons on Garuda, because you want to play her like a full kit, because she's a perfect Warframe. Garuda Prime Talons, check this out. That's orange crits and red crits for 9.1 critical damage, and we are destroying those enemies. And remember, we're running Slash, every enemy has HP, and we're running Toxin, every enemy has HP as well, doesn't matter. Corpus or Grenier or whatever. Now when we prime them with the Sedo and Viral from our Nautilus, we hit 1 million right about that. Pretty powerful weapon and really powerful Warframe. Underrated, to be honest. As a conclusion, I would give Garuda 9 out of 10. First ability creates a mirror protecting you from any projectiles and collecting enough damage that multiplicatively collects on charging for dealing damage cap. That's amazing. So she can kill with her ability, which is an AoE. Awesome. Now, her second ability can be removed and replaced with Gloom, so we can slow down enemies and get that life steal. Her third ability, one of a kind, removing your HP, returning them with Magus Elevate or any source of life steal, and you can get energy. So she doesn't need energy orbs or anything. She needs them, yes, but like not really. You can even remove Arcane Energize and replace it with something else for your weapons or whatever. Her fourth ability makes you invulnerable and contributes a lot to shield gating, and it can kill low to mid game. Really amazing Warframe, honestly. In the end of the video, I want to say thank you so much to everyone supporting the channel in any way, by liking, subbing, commenting, or joining our community Discord, link on the description. Special thanks to special VIP Urek, Kai, Illusion, Orfrid, and Irish. The Undisputed Donator, Free Hate, and other donators, Kali, Urek, Orfrid, Mika, Mr. V, Awesa, Milan, and Ilinot, and Noobmaster, and everyone in my community. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this build, and I will see you guys next time.